Now we are going to start chapter 8. This is about electromagnetic waves. So this chapter is more like a story. So we have to read it completely. There are many important concepts that you will find useful in the next chapters. So we have to understand each and every term in this chapter because it is very useful in understanding the next chapters or next topics. Though this is a very small chapter and contains a lot of theory, and it is not very high weightage, it has not very high weightage in the exam, but we have to understand it completely. So first of all, let us start. So first of all, what is the introduction? What are electromagnetic waves? So we have learned that electric current produces magnetic field. In chapter 4, what we have learned? Electric current produces a magnetic field, and two current carrying wires exerts a magnetic force on each other. So this we have learned in chapter 4, that any electric current, flowing electric current produces a magnetic field. You remember that example of a wire, and if the current is flowing in this wire, there would be a magnetic field associated, and this would be the direction of the magnetic field. This is the direction of the current and this is the direction of the magnetic field. So this we learned in chapter 4. In chapter 6, what we have learned? We have seen that a magnetic field changing with time gives rise to electric field. So what we learned here, if there is a magnetic field that is changing with time, that gives rise to an electric field. So is there something, if its converse is also true? Is there something that converse means opposite is also true? Does an electric field changing with time gives rise to magnetic field? So this is the question. So this is our question. So first case, what we have understood, if current is flowing, so current flow does not mean that current is changing. Current can be constant. Current can be constant. So a constant current or flowing current gives rise to magnetic field, that we have learned in chapter 4. In chapter 6, what we have learned, if we change the magnetic field with time, so B magnetic field is now a function of time. That means with time this magnetic field is changing either sinusoidally or in some other way. So this is changing with time. So this gives rise to electric field. This gives rise to electric field. Now we are asking a very simple question: is there inverse of this or converse of this also true? What is the converse? So we have seen magnetic field changing with time gives rise to electric field. Converse is, does an electric field changing with time? So we have changed magnetic field with electric field gives rise to magnetic field. So there are three things. First, flowing current gives rise to magnetic field. Okay. Second thing, if there is a magnetic field that is changing with time, that gives rise to electric field. Third thing, what we are asking, these two are known to us. Third thing, what we are asking, if there is an electric field that is changing with time, will it give rise to a magnetic field? So this is our question. James Clerk Maxwell was one of the greatest scientists of 19th century, argued that this was indeed the case. So he thought that this is true. Maxwell said this is perfectly true. Not only electric current, but a time varying electric field generates the magnetic field. So he said, so magnetic field can be generated in two ways, just by flowing the current as well as by changing the electric field. So what James Clerk Maxwell said, that magnetic fields can be generated by flowing the current as well as changing the electric field with time. So this is the fundamental behind this chapter. So a time varying electric field also generates the magnetic field similar to a current. So that we will learn with an example in this chapter. while applying Ampere's circuital law to find magnetic field at a point outside the capacitor connected to a time varying current, Maxwell noticed an inconsistency in Ampere's circuital law. So this we have to see. This is the example that we have to see. So Maxwell, what he did, he applied this Ampere's circuital law that we have studied, and he applied this law to the magnetic field a point outside the capacitor. So here we have a capacitor and there is some current flowing in this capacitor. This is current I is flowing. So IC, I have written IC, we will understand later what is the meaning of IC, but current is flowing. So what he did, he applied this Ampere's circuital law to find the magnetic field at some point outside this capacitor. And current here is time varying current. So current is not simple current, time varying current. That means AC current could be this thing. So this is a time varying current. So this is a function of time. This current is a function of time and we need magnetic field at this point P. So he noticed a problem with the Ampere's circuital law. So there was a problem with this Ampere's circuital law that we will see what is that problem. Then he suggested the existence of an additional current called by him the displacement current to remove this inconsistency. So first of all, let us understand what is the current. So outside this current is called IC because this is conduction current. Conduction current, because this is conducted by the electrons in the wire. So that's why it is called conduction current. He introduced a new type of current which he called the displacement current. Another type of current is displacement current. So displacement current is extra term that he has introduced because there was a problem with Ampere's circuital law. To remove that problem, he introduced this new type of current, displacement current. So Maxwell formulated a set of equations. So why he is famous? Because he formulated a set of equations, he derived a set of equations involving electric and magnetic fields and their sources. What are the sources of electric and magnetic field? Charge and current densities. So these are the sources. These equations are known as Maxwell equations. So these four equations are called Maxwell equations that we will see what are the Maxwell equations, but they are very important. Together with the Lorentz force formula, so we have already learned what is the Lorentz force formula. Lorentz force is F is equal to Q V cross B. This is the Lorentz force formula. Maxwell equation with Lorentz force formula, they mathematically express all the basic laws of electromagnetism. So this is fundamental to all the laws related to electro and magnetism. So now onwards we will use this term electromagnetism. So Maxwell proved that electricity and magnetism are not two different things but a same thing. But there is a similar thing which is called electromagnetism. That's why this term arises, electromagnetism. Hence we are learning about electromagnetic waves. The most important prediction emerged from Maxwell's equation is the existence of electromagnetic waves. So when he combined all these equations, so he learned about a new type of waves that are called electromagnetic waves. All the light waves are electromagnetic waves. Similar type radio waves, transmission, different types of transmission wave, all waves are electromagnetic waves which are coupled time varying and magnetic fields that propagate in space. So what is the meaning of this line? They have coupled time varying electric and magnetic fields that propagate in space. So suppose this is an electromagnetic wave. So this is the direction of propagation. Let us say this direction is x and it has a electric field and it has a magnetic field. So first let me assign an electric field. So this is assigned electric field, and let me say this electric field is in y direction. This electric field is in y direction. As you see, this is a sine function, so this is time varying. Now there is also a third direction. So let me assign, this is electric field. Y axis is electric field. Now let me assign a magnetic field. Magnetic field must be perpendicular to both of them. So this is a magnetic field. So magnetic field is in this z direction. Magnetic field is in z direction. So all three are mutually perpendicular. Electric field is in y direction, wave is propagating in x direction, and magnetic field is in z direction. These types of waves are called electromagnetic waves because it has both electrical and magnetic field that are time varying, and they are coupled. So this was the most important discovery. The speed of these waves according to the equation. So we will solve this equation, we will see according to these equations. So what is the speed of these waves? Turn out to be very close to the speed of light. So the speed of these waves are close to the speed of light, hence we can say that light is also an electromagnetic wave obtained from optical measurement. So we did the optical measurement and we said that speed of these waves is equal to the speed of light. This led to the remarkable conclusion that light is an electromagnetic wave. So we will learn it later that light is a wave as well as a particle. Light is both. Light is wave as well as particle, both, that we will learn later. But for now, light is an electromagnetic wave. That means, as I have shown, that if it is traveling in x direction, its electric field is in y direction and its magnetic field is in z direction. So this kind of wave is called electromagnetic wave, and light is also an electromagnetic wave.